Jones and Keefe here on WEEI. It's Thursday, which means it's time to talk to the Razor, Andrew Raycroft of NESN. He joins us here on WEEI. What's up, Razor?
Good morning, gentlemen. Not much. All good.
What's going on with your Bruins? Not exactly a great performance the other night. Jim Montgomery's job security called into question. Some of the offseason moves are under a microscope. How are we feeling about the Bruins to start the year?
Well, yeah, it certainly hasn't been smooth sailing like the 10-0 starts we've seen the last couple of years. I think the NHL, unlike probably all the other major sports, the start of the season has more premium. I think NHL teams know if they get off to a good start, it's really hard to recover points. And I think the Bruins have put a lot of pressure on themselves to have a good start. And the fact that they're 500 is far from disastrous. It just doesn't feel like it has the last couple of years. And of course, there's a few points that I'm sure we'll get to that they're trying to work through and clean up as soon as possible.
Yeah, what's going on with Marchand and Montgomery?
Well, I don't think there's anything going on personally there. I think, I mean, we've seen Monty's an emotional coach, and in that situation on the road with a 1-0 lead, he didn't like the turnover, and he let Brad know. And I think Brad, as the leader of the team, as a guy who's been here for 14 years now, understands that he's just like any other player. So I think that I've never heard that there's an issue personally in any way. I think Monty was upset with a player who made a bad turnover, and I'm sure everyone's okay with that.
So the visual, though, the other night, I guess I have less of a concern personally about, Monty giving him a tap on the shoulder pads or whatever it was, or a shove, if you want to call it that. But Marchand looked like a player just tuning his coach out. I mean, that's how it looked to me. Like, it looked like Marchand couldn't be bothered and couldn't care less. So that to me just speaks to, or looks like, a coach tuning a player out.
I saw it as a guy who has played a long time, probably going to be a Hall of Famer, frustrated with himself and knowing, like, guys you don't talk back to the coach, especially in that situation. I can absolutely 100% assure you, and I don't know, I wasn't on the road trip, but I have full confidence that they have had a conversation about the incident and talked about it and smoothed it over. And like all teams and coaches and players, and especially ones that have the status that Brad does, you talk through these things after the heat of the moment's gone. And again, I'm sure it's water under the bridge at this point.
And, we've seen Montgomery fired up before, and it did seem a little bit different. And I'm just wondering, is it the lack of a contract after this year? Do you think that would affect Montgomery? I know the team is off to a slow start, but is it sort of a little extra frustration because he knows that, for his job status, he needs to turn things around this season?
I think it's more just where the team is. They haven't really played great, and they're 500, which is completely fine. Everybody else in the division is essentially 500. There's a couple of teams that have run out 5-0-1, but the reality is most of the league is 500 right now. Everyone's trying to figure who they are and what they are and get into the season. It's still October 24th or wherever we're at right now. So I think his frustration is coming from maybe the lack of scoring and the fact that they haven't really got to their game as four lines. They've had a couple lines that they're really trying to figure out. They're moving a lot of pieces, and that can stress a coach out. And that, for me, that's kind of where I look, that I think he just wants a lot of expectation on this team, and they understand how important starts to the NHL season are. And the sooner you get to your process, and the Bruins haven't done that there's a little frustration there.
Andrew Raycroft and NESN here on Jones and Keefe on WEEI. Joins us every Thursday at 11:30. How do you feel about lame duck coaches in general? You've been in, dressing rooms. You've been on teams around the league. How do you feel about the lame duck coach in general? Because as much as the Bruins say they want to keep Jim Montgomery, he doesn't have a contract yet.
No, he doesn't. I don't think the players. I've never thought about it. I mean, thinking back to my career, I don't think I ever knew what my coach's contract situation was, and quite frankly, didn't care. I don't think the players care in any way whatsoever. You're trying to professional sports is really hard, right? Like you start worrying about the coach's contract or what you are.
But it's not just his contract though, right? Is he going to be here? Like, how hard am I going to play for this guy if he's going to be gone anyway? It's less about like his contract and what he's being paid, and more about, well, how much longer am I playing for this guy? How much longer do I need to listen to him?
Yeah, no, I never played for a coach. I played to feed my family and stay in the league, and it's so. I guess I understand that it's fun to make a distraction out of it, and I'm sure deep down somewhere Monty thinks about it, and I'm sure the Bruins, Don Sweeney and Cam have talked about it as well deep down. But the reality is, there's games every other night, and you got to find a way. So as a player, I don't think you're thinking about who your coach is or what their contract situation is. It's about, all right, how do I play better? How do I get on the score sheet? How does our team win? How does our power play get better? How do we break out of our zone better? And how do we beat the Dallas Stars tonight? I know it's not a fun talk radio answer, but it really is the truth when you get inside the room.
What do you think of some of the new line changes from the last game and what looks like it'll probably be tonight as well? Is it that top line of Marchand, Lindholm, Pastrnak one that you like, or would you prefer to break those guys up?
No, I like it right now. I think I want to see I want to see some more offense. I think it kind of moving Zacha to the second line and having him in the middle with Matty Patra, I think that could open up a little creativity, a little more offense. I think that moving Brad to that top line might actually deepen some of the offense throughout the lines. Again, kind of to that front, something's got to click. Other than the fourth line, something's got to click here. And I think, again, that's where a lot of, I think, the frustration's coming from. And hopefully the lines that we see tonight are, get a little bit of a spark for both the individuals and the offensive group together.
Independent of Marchand and Montgomery the other night, how has he looked to you, Brad Marchand, on the ice?
He looks like a guy who didn't start training until middle of August. Looks like a guy who's trying to find his timing, trying to, settle the puck at times, not really bouncing his way, and he's just trying to work through it. Never is compete or hard work or effort question with Brad Marchand, but I think he looks like a guy who typically works out all summer, typically gets on the ice all summer, and had to delay that this year. So, again, I wasn't expecting anything out of Brad until, middle of November, to be quite honest, just in how hard it is to ramp up and get going again after having 3 surgeries in the offseason.
What about Swayman to this point? He's played 5 of the 7 games. How do you think overall he's looked?
He was awesome. Those last 2 games, especially the game in Utah, could have been, that could have easily been a no-point night and a 3-4 nothing loss. I think, you talk about him and the holdout, of course, the storyline and worrying about his start, and he's been the exact opposite and proven why they wanted to get him signed and they want him on an 8-year deal. So I think he's been great despite losing 4-0 on the road, and he's only going to continue to get better timing and feel more comfortable.
So it's a big game for the Bruins tonight. You get the Dallas Stars, and you are part of an alternate broadcast. Is that right, with Tuukka and Bergeron?
How about this?
Yeah, we got a big night over at NESN in the studio. So we've got Unobstructed Views that's piggybacking off what the Red Sox and NESN did in the baseball season, and we got the big heavyweights. We got Tuukka, and we somehow convinced Patrice Bergeron to sit on the couch with me for a game as well. So it's going to be fun. I've got some pressure on me to kind of move things around, and
I didn't want to point that out, but I feel like there's a ton of pressure on you. I mean, you're the media guy. These are 2 former players. We know them for being players. You were a player as well, but you've been in this media thing a long time now. So I think when that red light turns on, there might be crickets from those 2. You're going to have to move this thing along a little bit.
I know, and they keep telling me, don't, it'll go. You just have to talk, but I'm feeling the heat. So. Yeah. So maybe some of the Bruins players or coaches, I'm feeling the heat tonight, and I got to get a good pregame nap in this afternoon to be ready.
Oh yeah, get that going. That's important to be well rested. Have you I don't know, like watched any of the other alternate broadcasts? Like, have you?
A little inspiration from
exactly.
the Manning cast or
Belichick
Carabas.
on the Manning cast. Yeah, you mentioned Carabas in the Unobstructed Views. Like, have you dabbled in any of that?
Yeah, I checked out the Unobstructed one, NESN and Carabas, but I do typically flip over on a Monday night to the Manning cast for a quarter or for 10 minutes. The good news is we're all in the same room. That's going to be a big difference rather than that Zoom on the Manning cast. So the three of us are there. We're going to have a guest tonight in the second period. He's coming in to sit on the couch as well. Another
mystery
Stanley
guest,
Cup winning player.
Mystery guest.
I don't know if it is or not, but I'll just keep it mystery for the sake of this phone call.
How about just between us? Just between us. Just me, you, Keefe, and Razor.
I'm already watching. You don't need to tease me anymore. I'm already watching.
Yeah, I think I think McQuaid is going to come in. I think Quater's coming in on the couch for a little bit. So
Darth Quater.
It'll be Darth Quater could be in the mix. So
nice.
Again, we'll be live and in person together. So I'm hopeful that adds to our chemistry rather than zooming in.
I love it. Beats the new play-by-play guy. But but that's really not important. I am excited to watch this though. This will be a good breakdown with these guys. I'm excited.
I'm glad. Thanks for being excited and pass on the word, and we'll try and do a good job.
All right.
If you see the fear in my eyes,
just look.
Go to commercial.
If you're looking for talking points, it's just like fire Montgomery.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Hot seat. Hot seat Montgomery. Marchand hates the coach. Hey Tuca, how come you never won anything? Bergeron, how come? Hey Patrice, how come the team went further without you last year? Like that sort of stuff. Like if you're just looking for talking points, I got you.
Yeah, that's the best way for me to be one and done.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect. I won't have to worry about the next one if I.
That's true. No more pressure after that. Well, Razor, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So NESN Plus and NESN 360, you can watch the alt cast.